What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood spider and the spider fan here to give you a review of Spider-Man Homecoming, the original, released in 2017. It's been a while since I last seen anything with Spider-Man. Of course, the Avengers has already happened, and we have to wait for like a year for Spider-Man Homecoming 2, so I thought, let's look back at Spider-Man Homecoming, the original. I really enjoyed this film because of how well it portrays Spider-Man and the new characters it includes. I enjoy the villains, the Vulture. Okay, first off, Spider-Man has just come back from fighting with the Avengers, kind of fighting against the Avengers at the same time because he was in Civil War. He got to do this big time thing, and now he's just waiting around for something big to happen, and he feels kind of left out and abandoned, and he sort of is. And that's the great thing. One of the great things about Spider-Man is that he has to come to learn about his limits and how great it is to just be part of fighting the small fights, and just being the little guy is actually a good thing, and embracing that and accepting that. And I think realizing that helps earn him his title as an Avenger, even though in the end he realizes he doesn't need to be part of the big battle saving the world, maybe sometimes saving the city, but sometimes helping the average day citizen, and I enjoy that a lot. And I think it parallels his normal life, if you will, his normal teen life, how he is such in a hurry to be this big time Avenger that he kind of sacrifices his social life and his friends. And he also learns he's got to embrace the normal things about life and normal aspects of teenhood, and take the time to grow up and enjoy life and not miss out on building a Death Star with his friend or going on dates and having a girlfriend. And that he almost sacrifices all of that, some of the things I really wanted and enjoyed, just to try to be this big time superhero. And I think it tells us that maybe the things that we do that are small actually do matter, and that we shouldn't bite off more than we can chew. And I think it helps relate to teens a lot, in the sense of maybe there's teens who are in a hurry to grow up and want to do something big and important, and they think they had to be grown-ups to do that, and they sacrifice all their childhood entertainment and teen life and social life in order to attain that, instead of enjoying regular day-to-day teen life. And I think it relates to teens a lot, in the sense that you feel so small, making a big difference, but you actually are. You're making the most important difference you can make by focusing sometimes on the small things that you can handle. And Spider-Man learns, I think, all of this in Avengers. And I also like how there's also a story arc for Tony Stark as being a mentor and sort of a father figure to Spider-Man, but mostly a mentor, and realizing right away that he shouldn't just leave Spider-Man off to the side, that he brought him into this world and kind of almost initiated him into adulthood, and then just kind of abandoned him without properly forming him and being there to form him into an adult superhero or a mature superhero. But he learns from his mistakes in this movie, so I'm glad for that. And then there's of course the Vulture, who is also in a sense a little guy who decides to get involved in some big crime, and it spirals out of control, and he has good intentions, but they're bad results, and he takes a long time to open his eyes to what's really important and what he's sacrificing in order to be this big time criminal, and kind of has to realize some similar things to Spider-Man, which I think is a nice parallel, because he has to realize being this big time criminal isn't worth it. Sure, he may have been a forsaken, forgotten average Joe who shoveled rubble, but that's no excuse, and being this big time criminal is ruining everything that he's working for, and for everyone he's working for, and what's important to him. And it's just amazing the way the relationship works out between him and Spider-Man. And again, to think that this guy's actually somewhat redeemable and relatable. I think it's what has the aspects that I like so much about Spider-Man and Spider-Man villains, is that they're made somewhat more relatable and human, and this movie does that. And I also like how it changes some things and incorporates them real well to the new Marvel universe. Usually Spider-Man movies are kind of off on their own and disconnected to the rest of the larger Marvel universe, probably because they weren't owned by or run by Marvel before, but usually the incarnations of Vulture has something to do with him getting upset with Osborn and Oscorp, but since that hasn't been established in this universe, they go with what they already have established, that Tony Stark's a big part of it, and the Avengers are part of it, and there's some similarities, but the differences that are there, like, I enjoy. The Vulture seeks revenge, sort of, but doesn't have Osborn or Oscorp as the main motivator. It's refreshing to see that there's some changes in some other motivators for the character of the Vulture than has been previously seen in other incarnations. I also wanted to mention that I enjoyed the side characters, like Spider-Man's best friend Ned, who we haven't ever seen before. I don't know if Harry or Osborn's are going to exist in this universe or not, but I don't mind it. And Aunt May is pretty adorable, even though she's much younger. They still managed to make her a charming character, and I enjoy the movie overall. I wouldn't really change much, except it had some politically correct moments, and I can kind of overlook those for the film as a whole and the story as a whole, and the characters that I enjoy. I wasn't too big a fan of Mary Jane, but I'm also not too big of Zendaya's acting. Hopefully it'll get better before she gets a bigger role in these movies. It sounds like she's gonna get a bigger role in these movies, and she's kind of a quirky character in this. But I hope Mary Jane will become a better, well-written character and better acted character. Like, hopefully the acting for her will improve. Well, that's all, Spider fans. I hope you enjoyed and that you will take the time to watch Spider-Man Homecoming. Whether you're like a teen or somebody who's just trying to figure out where their place is in the world, or a big Spider-Man fan like I am, or both, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Bye.